Now they can. Now they can.
I'm not talking. Can they hear me now?
They
Okay.
can hear you now.
Hello, everybody. What Vina was saying, she was running down her 4 least favorite viewers of this show. I thought it was particularly rude.
Stop.
That was pretty rude. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show before the free show. I'm Greg. That's VNA. It is a Monday. I'll do a quick weekend check. VNA, how was your weekend?
Weekend check. It was great. Did lots of stuff with my family. So yeah, my dad had a couple of gigs and
Are
whatnot.
you like, because your dad is a world famous DJ? I think people know this.
He does a lot of things. He's a DJ. He's like a
DJ
MC.
Raoul.
He's also a clown. Like he'll dress up as a clown. Don't look at me like that.
That rocks.
And on Saturday, he actually performed. There was like a carnival festival outside of a church in Fort Worth, and he did his whole show, and it was probably like the biggest crowd he's ever had. So it was kind of cool.
That rocks.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's cool. Shout out to Raul.
Shout out.
My favorite right now.
Payasito.
It was a big dad weekend, big dad energy this weekend for me. Went to the baseball game yesterday.
Nice.
And
You did the Rangers, correct?
Boys had a great time. Boys enjoyed themselves. It was dollar ice cream day, so they got their ice cream. They were literally counting down the outs until we could get ice cream. I told them, we have to wait until the bottom of the 6th, and then we can get ice cream. And they're like, how many more outs? I was like, 6. They're like, okay, great.
They were locked in.
Let's hurry it up. Go ahead and ground out Corey Seager. Let's go. I've got an ice cream sandwich to eat. Hey Dave.
There's Dave.
Sorry. The other thing was that we had soccer on Sunday, or Saturday rather. We had soccer on Saturday, and so Max is playing soccer for the first time, and he really, really likes it. He likes soccer a lot. He is. It gets him to run around. Max is our high energy guy, as you know.
He's a big fan of running.
He's our high energy guy.
Yes.
And so soccer, he wants to try baseball. I don't mind my wife here says I think baseball is going to be a disaster for him because baseball's a lot of standing around.
Yeah.
It's like soccer, there's stuff going on. Okay.
You gotta wait for like your turn too.
But but there's one thing that I think is interesting, which is like when because the first half of their soccer experience is practice, and then they play like a game, whatever. In as much as games exist when you're 4. In the drills and in the practice part, he's awesome. He can go through and he can do everything. And there's times where you're like, okay, like pretty good at dribbling. He's good at this. But when the game happens and there's like 10 kids on the field, he gets really like not disinterested, but a little bashful. Like he doesn't want to go and like run and chase the ball and take it. And my wife was like commenting on it. She's like, man, it's just kind of weird that he won't do that. And I told her, I was like, honey, here's the issue. We have spent 4 years instilling in this child that you don't take things from your brother, that we don't snatch things from our brother, that sharing is an important value, and things like that.
Of course.
And so now you're asking him to go out there and to like directly steal the ball that a kid is playing with and take it himself and like be selfish with it.
Yeah.
Because like passing doesn't exist in this league. Like they don't like it's just like whatever. It's
whoever gets it gets it.
And it's really turned him into a liability on the soccer field. Like
a liability.
I'll just say this. We bred the dog out of him.
Oh no.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's and I want to be clear that's probably ultimately a good thing.
Yeah.
But like for soccer purposes,
it's okay.
He's just a little bit too polite and he doesn't understand like, okay, hey man. Like I don't think he's 4. I don't think he has the understanding that there are times in which, like, yes, when we are at home and we are playing with toys with our brother, we need to make sure we're sharing. When we are at school, we need to make sure that we are sharing and that we're being a good teammate and stuff like that. But on the soccer field, like, rip that kid's heads off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's go.
Do you think it's like you should be like, hey Max, like when you're on the field, like let it out.
He doesn't, but here's the thing.
Like let the dog out.
I don't think he understands. Like, I've told him that, and he's just like, oh, okay. Like, I don't think he understands or grasps that there's a different venue for this. Like, he's a very binary kid. You know what I mean? It's like this or it's this. So I don't know. I don't think he doesn't have that killer instinct. You know what I mean? He doesn't have that killer instinct. He's just kind of hanging back. Oh, I'm glad you guys are happy. I'm glad you guys are playing with the ball.
Yeah,
I'll be
he's
over
got
here.
it.
I'm just gonna kind of run around myself. You know. I don't know. Anyway,
He's got to unleash.
but like there was one time where the ball like came to him and he like dribbled it a couple times. Like, oh my gosh, like a little breakaway for
Yeah,
him. But
let's
then like
go.
some other kid took the ball. He's like, oh okay, I guess
It's
you
okay.
wanted it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, but I don't know how to communicate to him like it's okay
It's all right. Let it out.
be a jerk to the. His team is called the Monkeys. I think they were playing the Falcons.
No.
You can be a jerk to the Falcons.
Not the Falcons.
Anyway, that was my weekend. Dadtivities.
Beautiful.
Hit a theme expo. Yes, y'all! From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Louisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show on the internet. My name's Greg Tepper, the editor-in-chief of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or you listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She's our friend, V&A Moreno. Hello, V&A Moreno.
Hi, you guys. There's my other producer, Blaine, that you saw in the back. Hello, everyone. He's shaking his head.
Today is Monday, April 27th, 2026. It is a mere, what was it? How many days?
This is going great.
I know. Oh, hold on. Can't hear me.
What happened?
I've been told you can't hear me. Anyway, 213 days until Thanksgiving. V&A Moreno, you may wish a happy 32nd birthday to somebody, or a happy 22nd birthday to somebody.
You said 32nd?
32 or 22.
32 or 22. Happy 22nd.
Happy 22nd birthday to Arch Manning.
Oh, wow. Let's
Arch
go.
Manning turns 22
Awesome.
today. Corey Seager turns 32.
Wow. Happy birthday, Corey Seager.
It is
Seager.
episode 1938. He guessed. 33. On today's show, folks, can you turn me up? Can you give me a little bit more?
A little bit more tep.
Give the people a little bit more tep. Not me. I've got enough me, but give the people a little bit more me.
Got you.
On today's show, folks, big show. Oh, it's also the birthday of Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh, wow. Let's go.
Corey Seager, Arch Manning, Ulysses S. Grant. It's a weird Mary F. kill. On today's show, folks, we got headlines from across the state of Texas, including a couple of breaking items coming up here in just a moment. Things have just come down through the Dave Campbell's Texas Football News Network here at the Mothership. We'll get into that. And then back half the show, Matt Stepp was out at the first state qualifying tournament for State 7-on-7 and caught up with the head coach of the Arlington Colts, KICKEM Kickham Colts. Kickham coach Scott Peach. We'll hear from him coming up here at the back half of the program. If you stick around with us. Do we have first four through the door?
We do. Working on audio, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Stepp, Rod Jarman, Tony Blaylock, and Dave Campbell himself.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. We do appreciate you guys spending a little bit of your day with us. There he is. Hi, Dave. All right. let's get to some headlines from across the state of Texas. And I teased this in the open. We have a couple of breaking items to kind of get through. Let's start with something that came down this morning, and that is that Sherman has been looking for a head coach for quite some time. You may remember that Josh Ailman was out. He was reassigned in mid-March from his job in a relatively, I would say, relatively surprising, at least from a timeline and circumstance perspective, move. But Sherman had been looking for a new head coach, and they'd been looking for a new head coach for about 6 weeks. We were right on the cusp of this job getting a little past its sell-by date, just a little bit. But they have made a hire, and they have gone west, and they have thought of small school, as Sherman has hired Efren Ramos to be their next head coach. Efren Ramos, most recently, is the head coach of the Lamesa Golden Tornadoes. And he went back to West Texas and led Lamesa's football program to their first district title in 23 years back in 2024, and then went and took them back to the playoffs in 2025. This is a really, how do I want to put this? This is a very hipster hire. I think this is a very hipster hire. This is the kind of hire that, like, Matt Stepp and I would say, hey, you know who would be a really good fit for this job would be Efren Ramos, but, like, they would never do that because it's a small school out in West Texas, and certainly there's not a lot of roads directly between Lamesa and Sherman. But I think this is really inspired here from the Sherman community, and I give them a ton of credit. This is a guy who does have familiarity kind of with the area. He was the defensive coordinator at Anna before this, when he was the defensive coordinator for them on that 2023 state championship team, was Efren Ramos. Now gets an opportunity to be the head coach there at Sherman. This is a really, like, this was not on my radar. I'll just be entirely honest. And I think that, maybe it should have been, because he does have that history there with Anna, obviously state championship history there with the Coyotes. But now he'll be Efren Ramos will be the next head coach at Sherman. I give Sherman a ton of credit. I think this is the kind of hire that there's other schools that may not have made. And what I mean by that is, they might have said, oh, okay, well, he was a head coach at a small school in West Texas. Yeah, he's been successful there, but we're going to need somebody with this. Instead, I think this is a really savvy hire of them saying, you know what? What if we just dig in and find a ball coaching dude? And I think they found one in Efren Ramos. Very exciting to see this. I think this is going to be the other thing that's going to be very interesting, of note for Sherman fans. He is bringing with him his son, Daniel Ramos, who has started the last 2 seasons as a freshman and a sophomore for Lamesa. It's been pretty good. So it's a package deal here that Sherman is getting, not only, I think, a pretty darn good football coach, bringing a quarterback with him as well. That helps as well. So Sherman's found their man in Efren Ramos, the Lamesa head coach. Very interesting there. Another late-breaking move that's coming down just within the last hour on TexasFootball.com. Arlington Lamar is looking for a head coach. Billy Skinner announced to his team on Monday that he would be resigning his post as to take an athletic director job in another school district. That should be coming down. That announcement is pending board approval later this evening. But Billy Skinner leaves his alma mater after leading the program for the last 5 seasons. This is according to Matt Stepp on TexasFootball.com. Now he gets to go be, Arlington Lamar, he didn't get to be an athletic director. He could be a campus coordinator, but couldn't be an athletic director because Arlington ISD is a pretty big school district. Now he will go and be an athletic director at a to-be-named school district. Very interesting to see this. This is now, and I will just tell you guys this. It is getting late early, okay? It is April 27th. April 27th is late in the coaching carousel game. So, I would say that you got to start thinking internal here. Not necessarily because, I think you just got to think internal here because of the timing aspect. That you do not, they could be in the middle of spring ball right now. You got to be thinking internal for that reason. Billy Skinner's been a guy who's been around Arlington ISD for a long time. He serves as an assistant coach under Trent Fuller and Layman DeLay for basically the entire part of the previous decade before taking the head coaching job at Irving MacArthur, then returning to Arlington to take over at Lamar. So Lamar is looking for a new head coach there in Arlington ISD. Keep an eye on that one. But again, getting late early here. April 27th is a very, very late opening as well. This was a big surprise last week. I think one of the more surprising coaching maneuvers of the season came down last week. And again, late in the game, it is that Steve Huff, the head coach at Decatur, has stepped down. He is going to go take a head coaching job in Oklahoma, at Chickasaw, Oklahoma. We talked with Matt Stepp on TexasFootball.com about this. It makes a lot of sense. It's family reasons. He's got family that are up north. I think he said that he's got family in Missouri and Oklahoma. His daughter's starting school in Kansas next year, and his son's at Central Oklahoma. So moving north makes sense for him. Steve Huff has been a tremendous head coach in the state of Texas for a long time. He led Decatur to the state semifinals in 2022 and 2023. He's 36-18 over the last 4 seasons there at Decatur. Before then, he was at College Station, including the 2017 state championship for College Station back in 2017. Look, this is a really big job to be coming open in late April. Decatur's a heck of a job. And they are now in a very interesting spot in Decatur, where if they were to open that up and they were to take on applicants and they were to go and make it, post it and have applicants come in, I am 1,000% sure that they would get a really nice list of potential head coaches. Decatur's a good job with a high upside. Also, it's April 27th today. We are late in the game. And so you could hire the coach today and he would have 4 weeks till school's out. It's a very interesting in-between situation here for Decatur, and I'm interested to see which way that they go. Keep an eye on this one. Again, a very big opening here in April. Keep an eye on this one, as Decatur is now looking for a new head coach. One of the openings that we were tracking over the course of the last, month or so has been Corpus Christi Miller. You may remember that Justin Evans left to go take over at Denton Braswell, opening up the flagship program, the kind of original program in Corpus Christi with Corpus Christi Miller. Corpus Christi Miller has found their next head coach, and last week it came down that they have hired David McHugh to be the next head coach at Corpus Christi Miller. McHugh most recently was the head coach at Bishop, where he was the head coach for a year, led them in 1 year to be there to the playoffs as well. Before that, he was the offensive coordinator at Ingleside. He is a guy who's got a ton of history there around that part of the world, playing at Taft and Mathis, coaching there. His twin brother, Matt McHugh, is currently on the staff at SMU. I will just tell you this. I understand that he is a guy who is still pretty young in the game, and I understand that he's got the one year as a head coach. That there are other people whose resumes are longer than David McHugh's. I understand that. This is a tremendous hire for Corpus Christi Miller. Tremendous hire for Corpus Christi Miller. And I am really interested to see what he does there. So Corpus Christi Miller has found their next head coach in David McHugh. Hey, 7-on-7 kicked off this week. You want to talk about that?
Let's go.
It was in Coppell, just down the street from us. As the Corpus Christi, as Coppell hosted the state qualifying tournament. And by the way, we were out there. Of course, you can find complete coverage of State 7-on-7 at TexasFootball.com. But 7-on-7, the state qualifying tournaments were going on. We've already got our first qualifiers as Coppell qualified in their own tournament. And then I believe Step tweeted, who was the other team that qualified from the state 7-on-7 tournament last week. You can see this is going great. I'm doing a great job.
It's going fantastic.
Thank you very much. I know Coppell. That was the one that really. Step, quit tweeting so much. But Coppell got in, as did one other team. Let's see. Oh, Pflugerville Weiss. Pflugerville Weiss is also heading to the state 7-on-7 tournament. So TexasFootball.com is where you can find complete coverage of state 7-on-7 qualifying tournaments. We'll hear from all sorts of stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks in state qualifying, heading up to the state tournament in College Station, coming up down in the ending part of June 25th through 27th in College Station.
We're back.
We'll have a ton of information on that. TexasFootball.com. We are Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Coming up here in just a moment, we're going to hear from the head coach of the Arlington Colts, Coach Scott Peach, caught up with Matt Stepp. But hello.
Whoopsies.
Whoop, got me?
There you go.
But first, she really wants to get to these ads. But first, a word from these valued partners.
Pour some sunshine with new First Light Community Coffee's first ever light roast. This blend has notes of honey and brown sugar that will brighten any part of your day. Try First Light now at communitycoffee.com.
Hello, Candace.
Not you again.
Me again. Remember our last oil change? Your boyfriend said he knew a guy who knew a guy. None of those guys knew what they were doing, including you, Todd.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch our experts change your oil right from your car.
Thanks for coming in.
And finish in about 15 minutes. Valvoline. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Friday night football is here, and Hometown is trusted by thousands of schools across the nation to make game days effortless. Sell tickets online, easily scan them at the gate, track sales in real time, and keep your community connected with a free athletic website. Make every game a Hometown game. Visit hometown.com to learn more.
Every legend starts with a vision. For Dave Campbell, that vision was clear. Tell the story of Texas football like never before. In 1960, he built something no one had before, a magazine that became the Bible of Texas football. Coaches, players, and fans didn't just read it, they lived by it. His words shaped the game. His vision built a legacy. And his name? It will always be written in the story of Texas football. Dave Campbell's Texas Football, where legends begin.
Hey everyone, Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, back here at the Coppell 7-on-7 state qualifying tournament, here with Mallory Hartley's favorite coach in the state of Texas, Coach Scott Peach, the head coach of the Arlington Colts. Coach, appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us.
You bet, brother.
All right, first off, Coach, you guys are in the middle of spring football right now, getting going. Tell us how that's going, and kind of what are the Colts looking to get accomplished here this spring?
Yeah, so we're really excited. Our JV football team was undefeated last year. Our freshman team went 9-1, so we've got a lot of young talent. So really excited, great leadership from our older guys. And then new district, right? We got the opportunity now to join the 5 Arlington schools with Lido and Weatherford and Granbury. And, in the 23 years I've been at Arlington High School, we've enjoyed the opportunity to go out west and got that opportunity again. So we're excited right now as a football program.
You mentioned the young talent. I remember when I got your questionnaire in, it kind of caught my eye because you got a good group back, the guys that have varsity experience, and then you bring in that influx of those guys that have had all that success at the sub-varsity level. Now you're in the process of kind of melding those guys into a team. But then when you look at it, you have freshmen who maybe could help you on JV, but also could help you on varsity. When you evaluate your sophomores for next year, how do you kind of make that call? That's a tough call for coaches to determine, is this sophomore might be good enough to play on varsity, but he may not be getting all the reps, versus he might get better as a football player by staying on JV and playing 100% of the snaps.
Yeah, so we've always had a philosophy at our place since I've been at Arlington High School. It starts with, as we measure our sophomores, if they can start on varsity, then they're going to play on Friday nights. If they can't start on varsity, I do not like sophomores as backups. I think it's bad for the development. And so as we look at that, if he's a kid on the borderline of getting to play some, we will play him on the JV football team to develop until it's time to call him up. With our junior kids, we would like almost all those to be varsity. A few times we'll have a kid play down at JV just because they need to develop. But otherwise, our seniors and juniors are varsity players, and our sophomores have to be able to start before they get to come up.
There you go. But not against it though, right? If he's good enough, if the sophomore is good enough to play, he's going to play, right?
Yeah, and we're the same way with the freshmen too. If we have a sophomore, we have a freshman that's good enough to play Friday nights, they play. We don't care what age they are. We want our best football players on the field. And really, spring ball for us, the thing I love about it is we really get a chance to find out what we call our top 35, but our 22 starters on both sides of the football. And we're in day 5 getting started on Monday.
There you go. Now, you mentioned UIL realignment, and you guys are heading west in realignment. You know, you guys in Arlington, being right in the middle of the Metroplex, there's always a multiple directions. You know, some folks will have you with Mansfield, you go with Grand Prairie, you could go with Irving, you could go a number of different directions. When you got the packet, were you surprised when you went with Aledo, Weatherford, and Granbury?
Well, everything we had heard was the 3 Irving schools, possibility of the 2 GPs or the 2 Mansfields. And it made a lot of sense. But here's the deal. We used to go out west because we had 5 schools. When you have 5 schools going out west, they always had 3 out there they need to pair us with. Well, once a lot of teams started coming up in 6A with the Crowleys and the North Crowleys and Boswells and things like that, they didn't need us anymore. So that's when we came back in regions 5 through 8, and it's been District 8 for a long time. Well, the way it all shaped out, they needed us again. And so when Granbury and Weatherford came up and Aledo, they needed somebody to pair with them. So it goes back to where it used to go 8 years ago, where they took us with the 3 teams out west, and we've enjoyed it. The opportunity in the playoffs to be able to play, the Midlands and the Odessas. What a cool opportunity for kids. And to get on a bus and travel. So that's our hope, that we got a chance to get back out west and compete for a long time.
Now, if you guys are going to do that, because your district's tough. Obviously, we all know the kind of program Aledo is, and the Arlington schools. Coach Sam's done a great job at Bowie. We think Coach Skinner and Lamar is going to be improved. We think y'all are going to be improved. Martin, I think, should be a lot better. So you guys, it's a tough district. When you look at your district and your ball club, what's got to go right for the Arlington Colts in 2026 to compete for a district championship and get into the playoffs and make a push?
Yeah, I mean, the first deal is, we got to play good football, and we got to play winning football. And I think, as I talked about our sub-varsities and then our varsity team last year, we have a culture right now with these groups of winning, and that needs to carry over to the football season. I love the addition of Aledo. Some people will hear Aledo and be like, oh, my Lord. Mine has always been excitement for that, because here's the deal. When a team like that comes into your district, they are going to elevate the level of play. When you elevate the level of play, it makes your football team better, and it gets you prepared for the playoffs better. And I'm very, very excited for that. And when you're going to line up against teams like a South Lake Carroll, like Byron Nelson, like some of those teams in the first round, you got to be ready to go. To your point, though, I think we have a really talented district. I'm excited to see us compete in the playoffs. The Colts just have to play winning football.
Are there any position groups you and your coaching staff are really, maybe some battles that some kids have a good spring that can win some starting jobs?
Yeah, so first, our secondary I'm excited about. We've got Jacob Batiste, Samaje Davis, AJ Payne that are all back. So we've got a lot of experience there. I'm excited in our receiving core right now. Kason Brown, Jackson Nelson, Alex Moore, they're all back. A lot of development there. And then we're big up front. That's one thing that we have not been in a while. We've got a lot of size in our offensive line and defensive line. Really going to help us in the trenches when we play a lot of big teams.
But you got to have, you made some deep playoff runs there at Arlington. To win in November and December, you got to be good up front, right?
Yes, and so we've got Chris Burns back at center. We've got David Soto, Sam Soto, Caleb Lab, and the offensive line. I'm excited about our defensive front with Ty Conley and Troy Smith and some of those guys. And again, we're just big. And it's been several years since we've been big. So I'm excited that those dads decided to kind of live in Arlington and grow these kids up, so we have some size, and that's going to bode well for our football team.
Larry is Scott Peach, the head coach of the Arlington Colts. Mallory Hartley's excited about 2026. We're excited about the Colts in 2026. Coach, appreciate what you do for student athletes in the state of Texas.
Appreciate you, man. Good to see you, man.
Appreciate it.
There is Scott Peach, head coach of the Arlington Colts at the state 7-on-7 state qualifying tournament there in Coppell, the first state qualifier of the year. We appreciate Coach Peach taking a little bit of time with us Let's go over to V&A Moreno for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts. Hi, V&A Moreno.
Just lost my mouse, but hello. So I do not have a lower third. But go sports.
Go sports. Wow, what a...
No, just kidding. Go Spurs. Go Stars. Lots of hockey. Lots of... I'm in support of the Spurs for fellow Ashley Pickle. Go Spurs.
Thank you. Thank you for that. That is going to do it for us. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Arlington head coach Scott Peach for being our guest. For V&A Moreno, I'm Greg Tepper. We will see you Thursday on Texas Football Today.